So it's CPI week, and I happened to just take two trade positions. And among these two trades, one was a small loss, the other one was a break even. And last week, which was NFP, I also had similar scenario happening. And it's almost a month now, and I've barely taken any serious trades or anything like that. The market condition has really been very, very poor for me and crazy, and it's been challenging, but will always, show up in the market and be locked in. So looking at what I have for the week, I was eyeballing gold ahead of the week, and we started the week on a positive note, positive news coming out from the US side of things. We were able to come into an agreement with the Chinese economy, and tariffs has been slashed down over 150%. And this positive news alone was what made me to keep a very close eye on gold, but we ended up not taking any trade position on gold because I managed to not get an entry, and also the one that was very close to my entry, I missed the trade. So looking at what I have here on my screen, I have gold, and this was my breakdown, my markup of what I was looking at. If you look at this, we have this region as a structural high. We've dropped, we pulled back, we dropped, we pull back, and we dropped again. Now the issue I had was the pullback. I was eyeballing, I was looking at price pulling back all the way to this high, but we didn't get that. We pulled back slightly into this minor region here, just close to that region, and price dropped massively. The following day, which was close to CPI day, I was also tracking gold. It happens to also continue to drop to the lower, to the to the downside on the lower time frame, and that happened around 4 a.m. I happened to still be asleep. I woke up an hour later, and so over 70% of the viewers of this channel are yet to be subscribed, and we're on our way to hit 2k subs on the channel. Looking back, I started this channel January last year, and this is almost a year and 6 months down the line. The journey has been amazing, the growth has been tremendous, and the support has been massive. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in on a weekly basis to consume content and all of that. So for those of us who are yet to be subscribed, come on man, hit that subscribe button, turn your post notification, give this video a like as well, so that these videos and videos I make will get to more traders, and the channel will continue to grow, and you'll be in the loop of updates when I drop new videos like this. Bless up. Let's get back to the video. Gold was not giving me that trade setup. So if you look at gold currently, we can see that it's bouncing off this region, and we've had our first push up. We are looking at to bounce off from this region, which is more like the first pullback, but then this is already at the back end of Friday, and I'm not so sure if this might give me an entry. If it does, I'll possibly take it. If it doesn't, that'll be a wrap for the week. But however, looking at this here, I took AUD card, which was when I took a small loss on this particular pair, and this trade was largely because AUD card has been ranging for weeks here, and we had the first major breakout, and what I was looking at was very simple, nothing too complicated here. What I was looking at was for price to retest this neckline here, for me to look forward to an entry, and we take it up from there. And this was more like a London session, break and retest, but this failed to play out. I already committed my funded account to this trade on the lower time frame. So if I look at the 15 from the 4-hour time frame, on the 15 you'll get to see where I took this entry, and I took this entry right about here because I was looking at price to possibly come on here and bounce, but we didn't get that. So I took my entry right about this region, and price was just trickling around, and I closed for a minor loss before it could hit my stop loss, not to take unnecessary loss on this. So that's what I took for AUD card. Then we had CPI. CPI was the crazy one. Now for the trade position I took for CPI, if you notice, there has been some slight changes in how high impact news usually affect the market. So if it was the previous high impact news we had before Q2 we are currently in, and largely last year, high impact news were usually very, very volatile. You get to see huge moves from dollar crosses. We're talking about gold, euro USD, AUD USD, NAS 100, S&P 500. When you have CPI news, NFP news, they're usually crazy volatilities. But looking at this now, this past 2 months or thereabouts, high impact news barely shakes up the market, or you barely see even 20 to 30 pips. It barely happens. High impact news drops and the market is like as if it does not even recognize it. And this is largely because there's a shift in what's going on in the market. So if you look at what has been going on from my own side of things, my own take is when we started having the trade war, tariffs, and all of that, gold was the major asset for me right there. I've been trading gold for over 3 months consistently, picking good profits and all. But then this tariff wars and all of that is now coming to that ending phase, I believe, because before this major announcement that happened on Monday this week, that was CPI, US has reduced the tariffs that he imposed on other countries like Mexico, Canada, the European Union, and so on. And now we are having an agreement between the US and China. So largely we're not going to see crazy buys on gold anymore, because investors are likely gonna move into a more risky asset because the economy is looking a bit different from what we have before, which was likely because why I wanted to sell gold for the week, and I was waiting for an entry, but it didn't happen. The second entry was very close to my entry, but I was asleep, so it's just one of those things. Now, coming down to high impact news again, for some reason high impact news no longer do much in the market. It no longer does much in the market. CPI came out. CPI that used to be red hot, we didn't really see anything happening, and this is like something that is a bit off and strange. So but if you look at other markets like the crypto market has been red hot, BTC creating all-time highs and all of that, but then I've not still been able to get my entry. The one I got on BTC, I missed it again. And looking back, it's almost a month now that I barely took any solid trade at all. Any solid trade at all. And this is largely because I don't want to mess up my trading account, because it's going to be very, very, very tough for me to going to draw down during these times of less setups and opportunities in the market. And when these setups start coming back and I'm fighting to come off of drawdown, it takes twice the energy you need to grow an account versus taking it from drawdown and coming back up and building it from there. It's going to take you twice the energy, and is very taxing. I'm not gonna lie. Doing that on a funded account is very, very taxing. And you all know how it is that with traders, once you're into drawdown, your psychology is not going to be so much solid as when your account is not on a drawdown. So for me, I rather sit on the sidelines and wait, which is very difficult because not all traders usually have the ability to be on the sidelines and not take trades for almost a month. Is almost something that most traders can do. And I really understand the situation, because as a trader you want to go into the markets at least once in a week. If you take a trade, if it's a loss or a win, at least, but then you are taking something that is solid. But here is me not taking a trade for over a week, not placing one trade position. The second week taking a trade and it's break even. The third week no trade. This being the fourth week a trade, but then it's on break even. It's crazy. But one thing that's been able to keep me going is having other activities outside of trading, because you cannot easily you know be on your charts all day trying to take a trade and not falling for taking a wrong trade. It's almost impossible. I'm not gonna lie, I've been there before. So but then I've been able to improve over time to be able to stay off the charts when there's nothing meaningful happening, and you know keep my trading account in check and my psychology as well in check. So over the week, nothing serious, and the week has almost gone by and all of that. But then that's just one of those things. So to sum up what I'm looking at next week, I'm positive. Want to see how price is going to end up for the week and all of that. And I also have some good announcements here. uh FS Life, which is my recommended prop firm and broker, they are currently running a 40% discount on all account sales. They just rebranded, and You can use the link in the video description to get yourself an account. Whatever account size you're taking, 100k, 50k, 20k, you get a 40% off for the next 4 days. And also you do get a 100% deposit bonus, which is mind-blowing as well, because of the new rebranding and all of those things that they just did. So these are the opportunities that are currently in that you could leverage on before the week ahead. Also, synthetics are also in the equation. Don't forget, guys, you can get yourself any of this. And that will be all. And next week, let's see how the market turns out to be. I'll still be locked in, I'll still be positive, I'll still show up regardless of anything like that is happening in the markets. What's up, guys? Cheers. I'll see you in the next one.